From his beginnings as a bank teller, Richard Davis rose through the ranks of the California banking industry through 3 turbulent and dynamic decades. There, he learned how to navigate globalization, technological revolution, deregulation, and recession. It gave him the experience to lead U.S. Bank to its current position as the 5th largest commercial bank in the country. Davis took the reins in December of 2006 as the subprime lending wave was beginning to show its inevitable decay. His mantra and directive, consistent, predictable, repeatable, allowed U.S. Bank to remain stable and grow while other banks traded long-term stability for short-term profit. Until one becomes a CEO, Davis says there's no way to describe the chasm between almost running a company and really running it.
But at the end of the day, when you step into influence, you know that you have it when the path of status quo is always present, especially if it's a good path. You can just keep things going the way they are and let them roll. But you then realize all of a sudden your job is to be the one to know where you're going to need to be in the future. So one of my favorite quotes or stories is to have learned that during Wayne Gretzky's Hall of Fame speech, among the other things that were asked of him, one of them was, "Why do you think you're here today?" And his answer was something like, "Gosh, I really don't know, except I guess I was just where the puck was going to be all the time." And it's so profoundly brilliant. And I think a CEO figures out, I've got to make sure this company's where the puck is going to be. And that changes things.
Davis has consistently proven he can predict where the puck will be for U.S. Bank.
But the company is particularly strong today because we did the right things when it was easy to do the wrong thing. We weren't that profound, by the way. We simply are simple. So we only did stuff we knew and understood. We didn't take a lot of advantage when people were doing crazy things or everything looked so easy.
Through it all, the tough times and the expansion, Davis has remained focused on being consistent, predictable, and repeatable, even when doing so was considered by others to be out of style.
That's when you get credit. So as a bank, you can be a great partner when times are good. I mean, who isn't? But it's when times are tough, you figure out who's really good. And that's when a bank steps in and says, look, I'm going to protect your flanks. I'm going to help you think through this. I'm not going to abandon you, but I'm also not going to make it easier on you by giving you something that you think you need that isn't good. We're going to work this together, and we'll get to the other side. And so there's a generation of loyalty that's being created in these last few years. And it probably parallels the generation of loyalty that happened in the late 80s at the last recession and in the late 60s and the one before, where people say, look, you were there when I needed you. You were always there when I was doing well, but you were there when I was struggling. And that is a moment in time that you cannot replicate and you should cherish as a chance to prove the mettle of your partnership.